Do you ever just spend a lot of time filming something just for your camera to say there's no file selected? When you go back to look over the footage, just pick a thumbnail. That just happened with this video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Steph, and we are here with take 2 of the travel book tag, and hopefully my camera decides to film this time. Pretty please, YouTube gods and camera gods and whoever else I need to pray to, let this go through this time, because I really don't want to film this again. I stuttered a lot in the last one, and it took a long time. I was tagged in this tag by Vanessa, whose channel I'll link in the icon and description down below. She has a lovely channel that I highly recommend checking out if you haven't already. And this is a book tag that was originally created by someone who I will peek at right now without cutting, because it was created by Bookish Paradise, whose channel and video I will also link down below. This is a mess. Anyway, let's just jump into the questions before everything goes to chaos again. There's gonna be a hint of chaotic energy to this whole video because I'm filming in fear that nothing will record again. So the first question is to talk about a recent vacation you took, or what was the question? I don't even know anymore. Vacation flashback. Talk about one of the favorite places you visited on vacation. And recently, I'm gonna go with one that actually isn't a concert trip, which is shocking because that's all I usually do. And for this one, I'm just going to say my recent trip from my home state of California all the way to Arkansas, which is 4 or 5 states away. 4? That's the state. I don't know. It's been a mile. That was like in March, April of this year. But anyway, we went there and back in a week. So it was like, it was pretty much a turn and burn. It was done really quick. We covered a lot of ground. And one of my favorite things about that trip is on the way there, I brought the book Midnight Crossroads with me to read, because that's the book that the TV series Midnight Texas is based on. And the book takes place in Texas, and the show is filmed in New Mexico. So as we're driving through New Mexico and Texas, I read that book, and it was an awesome feeling, and it was just really cool for me. Anyway, on the way back, we stopped in New Mexico again, and we actually went to Area 51, not Area 51. We actually went to Roswell, New Mexico. I'm confusing it because of aliens. Area 51's in Nevada. Someday, I'll go to that post that you're not allowed to get past. Otherwise, you'll get shot on sight. Fun. We went to the little alien museum. It was so fun. I'll insert some pictures right here for you. It was so fun and just cool, and the whole town is just, there's little alien statues everywhere. It's fantastic. It's just banking on the whole alien crash thing. So fun, like little wooden alien statues everywhere. There's little knick-knack shops for just alien stuff, and of course the alien museum. Even though the crash didn't even happen in the town of Roswell, it's just because it's known as Roswell. So it was just a really fun thing, and I super enjoyed it. I got a UFO license, which I lost immediately. I don't know what happened to it. Maybe the aliens took it back because they didn't trust me with their flying objects. I don't blame you, aliens. I also got a rather expensive book that was kind of a letdown, but you're gonna pay if you're gonna buy it at Roswell, New Mexico. So I also got some stickers that I never ended up sticking to anything. I think that's it. I think that's all I got at Roswell, but it was so fun. I really enjoyed it. Number 1 is booking a flight. An expensive bookish item or book that you have. Was it worth it? Well, mine I think was worth it because I actually didn't pay anything for it, but the people who originally got it paid $80 for it. And that is a Twilight box set. Now hear me out, because this story is a doozy. I've told it on Twitter. I don't think I've ever told it on BookTube, which is weird because I always like, I'm going to talk about this, and I just never did, I don't think. And so we were out taking cans and bottles in for some extra cash, and we're driving past, and I look on the ground, and I see, I forget what side exactly it was on, but I saw one of the patterns. Like, that looks like a box set, and that kind of looks like the Twilight crap. Is that a Twilight box set next to the garbage? Hold on. This is behind, like, the Dollar Tree and Mia and Ed's and all that, mind you. It's freaking crazy. So I get out and go over there, and it's this box set, and as you can see, the books are, except for this first one, they're not damaged at all, and the only damage to the box is this top corner, which I taped up because I wanted to keep the box, because that's like the whole niceness of having a box set. But yeah, I took it home, I kind of cleaned it up, I took out, there's like some sawdust inside, I cleaned it out and everything, and suddenly I had a Twilight box set. And yeah, I know this series is problematic, and I haven't read it since like middle school. but I've also never owned a box set, and this one just kind of fell into my lap, so I'm keeping it. I have kept it. I've had it for like a couple months now, I think. And it's just a really cool thing to me. Like, I know it was problematic, and I know it's weird that I got it next to the garbage can. But it was weird. Yeah, the whole thing is weird, but I now own a Twilight box set, which originally went for $80, which is crazy. I can't even fathom paying that much for a box set, although I've looked at the Harry Potter box set, and that's like, what, $79? Same price, and I've considered, because box sets are nice, I can kind of fathom paying for that. Not so much the Twilight, but box sets I can kind of fathom. At the same time, it hurts my heart and soul. These things are expensive, man. You know, another thing I could have talked about instead of that box set was my sword, Hobbit sword. But that's all the way in the other room, and I'd have to grab it and walk through the house with it, and then we'd be like, why are you caking your sword? Also, I don't know if it really fits. Maybe I'll do another sword with the video. Video with the sword. I can't even say words. Number 2 is Packing Your Suitcase, a book that had a busy but organized plot. And I didn't really have an answer for this one, so I'm just going to say Alice in the Country of Hearts by Sume Hoshino and story by Quinn Rose. This one is an Alice in Wonderland retelling with all these guys. Pretty much everyone in Wonderland is falling in love with Alice in some way, shape, or form. And she has to talk to so many people before she can actually get out of Wonderland. It's really weird, but it also makes sense, but it's also really weird. I don't know. But I'm just going to say that one for this question because I didn't really have an answer, and I don't know. Number 3 is Airport Security, a book that you analyze the most. And this comes as a surprise to probably no one that I'm choosing Be More Chill by Ned Vizzini. My tabs are still in this from the book review I finally did earlier this month. And it's such a... My favorite aspect of this book is analyzing it, because every time I read this book, something else is brought to my attention. I have different feelings about it. I always have different feelings and emotions about this book, except Christine. I never like Christina's character. Otherwise, I always have different things to think about with this book and to talk about. And it's just my favorite thing about this book. I just love it so much. And to see how the story has evolved from book to musical to off-Broadway musical, now to Broadway musical, my baby. I love it so much. It's my favorite thing about this book. It's just the best. I love it a lot. That's my favorite thing about this book, is analyzing it. And I'm nerding out, so I'm going to move to the next question. Airport Lunch, a book character you wish you could have lunch with. And I really wish I could have lunch with Riley from Simpsons of Being Human. Riley is a non-binary character, one of the first non-binary characters that I've read in a book. And I absolutely loved Riley's character. Riley was such an interesting character to follow. And Riley is so much more than just this non-binary character. Riley starts a blog that about being a closeted teen in high school and getting bullied and moving through that. Riley meets this group of other queer people and bonds through them. And it's just really cool, and where the story ends, I love it. I would love to talk to Riley about the ending of the story, because we're left on a bit of a cliffhanger, and this is a standalone book, so to talk to Riley about how that final experience went over, what Riley's emotions were afterwards, I would absolutely love that. Number 5 is Airport Souvenirs, a book that you have multiple copies of, and I've talked about this before. It's Be More Chill by Ned Vizzini once again. This is the 2015 edition that was published, sadly, after Ned Vizzini's death. I also have the original edition, which is a paperback that has Jeremy and the words around him. I also have one of the hardcovers, I believe the first of the 2 hardcovers. And it's like a close-up of this, like there's a visor and you can see the high school locker and it's like the guy screaming. And there's one other hardcover that I want. It says Chaos sticks his tongue out like, and it has the pill on his tongue that says Be More Chill. I really want that edition, so I believe that's all of the editions, and I would have all of them. And just because of how much I love this book and the analyzation of this book, and just kind of watching the evolution from this book to Ned Vizzini's next book, which is kind of a funny story, I love that, and I would love to own all the copies of Be More Chill. Someday they will be mine. Wow, I didn't get a copy for this book. This next question. Airport Turbulence, a book with a plot that made you anxious or nervous. I don't know. Part of me kind of wants to say They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera, just because of like the thoughts with the anxieties that come with living in a world where you're told when you're gonna die, the day you're gonna die, but you're not told how, you're not told when, just in the next 24 hours. I might have to say that one because that gave me like existential dread. That's not even the right word. Just internal panic. Like, what if we lived in a world like that? Oh dear God. Oh dear God. I think that is the one I would have to say. And I have a copy of the book, but I'm not going to go get it because I didn't bother to pick it up before starting this. I'm a mess. Next is number 7, Landing. What your most anticipated release of the year. And I'm so hyped for this book. I've had it on pre-order for months. I'm so excited for this book. And it's Dear Evan Hansen. Yes, I also miss our talks. Not all of that is just the Dear Evan Hansen. But I'm so excited for this book. It's so weird. Usually we have books turn into musicals. But in this case, we're having a musical turn into a young adult book. And I couldn't be more hyped. We're going to actually get a peek into Evan's head. And we're going to, see his thoughts more than just the musical and, the words come on the page. I'm so ready for all the references that are going to be in that book. What if we get some of Connor's point of view in that book? Holy God, I've never thought of that. And that just brings up my hype even more. It comes out next month. It comes out in, a couple weeks. I'm so excited for this book. My brain is going to explode. Number 8 is Baggage Claim. A book you thought was a drag or, I don't know, wasn't good. I'm going to say Reign of Shadows by Sophie Jordan. I'm not that far into it. It's a library loan. It's due next week. But I started and I can't really get any more into it. I'm on page 20. It's not gripping or captivating. I picked this up the same time I picked up History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. And granted, this one did start a bit slow, but it's really gripping me, and I'm over halfway through it, almost done with it. This one is just, I'm bored with it. It has low-key Rapunzel vibes, but that almost feels like all it's going for it. And even then, it's not complete Rapunzel vibes. I don't know, I'm just really not enjoying it, I'm not feeling it. I'd never heard of this book, and the cover seemed interesting. But part of me is kind of understanding why I never heard of this book, because it doesn't feel like anything to write home about. That's mean to say, but I'm going to put on the shades so I feel less bad about being mean to the book. And so number 9 is Destination, a book that you can read over and over and over again. And for me, I'm going to go weird, not even go with a fiction book. I'm going to go with a non-fiction book of I'll Be Gone in the Dark by Michelle McNamara. And it is a book about the Golden State Killer, who was a serial killer, serial rapist, who plagued my Sacramento, Visalia, I think the Bay Area in California in the 70s. And it's crazy because they recently caught the guy a few months after this book actually came out. And he goes by so many different names. He goes by the Golden State Killer, the East Area Rapist, the Original Night Stalker. It's insane. There go the sunglasses. But this book is just so well written. Michelle McNamara had such a beautiful writing style, beautiful way of telling stories. A lot of these non-fiction true crime books, they're really stagnant and it's hard to keep your attention for very long and it's hard to really get into it. Michelle had such a beautiful way with words that it really kept your attention, it kept you reading. Most of these other ones just go fact, 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 fact. And yeah, Michelle did give you facts, but she also tied in elements of her personal life and elements of different stories that kept you engaged and kept you reading, kept you wanting to learn more. And it really sucks that Michelle passed away before the book was finished. But most of the words in the book are her own, and it's just beautifully done. It was beautifully put together despite it not being completely done at the time of her passing. It was just absolutely beautiful. Amazing book. I did a whole book discussion on this book, just gushing about it for I think 11 minutes. I probably already linked it in the icon, and I'll link in the description down below, but you gotta go check it out if you're a fan of, that's what we're say, a fan of true crime, if you're interested in true crime, if you're interested in California serial killers. I'd highly recommend this book. It is very captivating. And finally, we're at number 10, which is To Tag Some People, and I've got some people picked out, so I hope you enjoy this. If not, oh boy, I just tagged you in a thing you're not gonna enjoy. Sorry. I'm going to be tagging Wild Book Garden, Beards and Books, and Read with Marina Ray. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, and if not, I apologize. Thank you once again, Vanessa, for tagging me in this tag. I had a lot of fun with it. I really hope that this recording sticks. I don't have to film this a third time, because that would suck. Otherwise, that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you have a lovely day / night, and I'll see you later.